broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome to Today's America. This is Mohammad Tofader from Millennium News 24/7, United States and round the world. We are in our American studio. Viewers, we have two special guests today. Our good friend Sarah Nicole Frank, and we have another special good friend in our network, Todd Goldfinger. He is one of our good well-wisher. Viewers, we are talking about today politics, health, and daily life in American society. What is going on our health care center, healthcare issue. So many people's victimized. Why is going to be? Our state of New York, every year they have billions of dollars plan issues on Medicaid. They get money from federal government and they are misusing the money. So why they have to be misusing our taxpayer money? What is our government investigation they are doing? They have some job to do. Anyway, today we call our good friend Sarah Frank in our network. Sarah, welcome to our Millennium News 24. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me, Noor. My name is Sarah Frank, and I grew up in Somers, New York. Right now, I'm a licensed massage therapist. I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and I love what I do because I love to help people. Massage therapy is an amazing, it's an amazing career, and it's a very good alternative for pain, pain management, and also for mental health as well. I really wish that the state of New York would recognize massage therapy as a mental health treatment because it does help with depression and anxiety. It helps with insomnia, all of these things, and they just, it's not covered. It's not covered unless you're in like a doctor's setting where there's like a chiropractor there. So it's very difficult to get insurance to cover it, but honestly, it really does help people with mental health issues. And I have had my own issues growing up, and that's why I really love to help people because no one really was there to help me. So, it helps me in a lot of ways with my inner wounds as well.
Thank you. Thanks. Mr. Todd, please introduce yourself in our viewers?
Sure. Lovely to be here as well. Sarah, Smile, Sarah Frank, great friend from since back in the day, since the mall rat days even, as some people may call it. When they had mall rats. So if you remember the era of the mall rat, that was us. And we got to be good friends, and these became people that stayed in our lives for a very long time. And you know what they say, you know, the test of time, and the people that are still in your lives when you reach around, you know, whatever age, you know. And that's great because we're here to tell a story and to support newer and to support the public in our stories, so how we can help through that, all of that.
Very good, very good. Todd, in our East Coast, last 2 days, they have a lot of snowstorm. Since South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Washington DC, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Maine. So many states already emergency, call emergency. So many states, they lose the power. And so many people is shelter. Our government, federal government, state government, city government, doing just by name. Still so many people in New York City area, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, still they don't have a power. This is not a sickness, is our government, our industry, power industry. What do you think?
What do I think about the healthcare industry, or?
No. I'm talking our state government, federal government, city government. So many people lose the power.
The lockdowns?
Yeah.
And how it's affecting people's livelihoods?
Exactly.
Well, the power, are you talking about, oh, sorry, guys, I just wanted to step in for a second. Do you mean the power because of the storm, the nor'easter? Are we talking about the nor'easter?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the tornado? Which natural event are we speaking about? I think it is, right?
Yes. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think, as far as the storm's concerned, the storms around the country, you mean like people are losing their energy, you know, their electricity. That's a big deal. You know, they want to turn everything into electric cars, and they want to make this big switch, you know, for shutting down the pipelines. And a lot of people are out of work because of that. I just think it's adding to the crisis of there not being enough resources for communities that are devastated by these natural disasters. You know, I know there's FEMA camps and stuff like that all around the United States, but I'm not really sure how well they're utilizing them, because I know they want to put people who are anti-vax in them, and I mean, that's just what I've been hearing anyway.
Where'd you hear that?
Well, I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I subscribe to a lot of different people. I feel like YouTubers are like the new journalists now, because
exactly,
you can't really believe.
Exactly, Sarah, I'm interfere you. YouTube is not a journalist. They're just making money. They give you guys some kind of platform, and you guys, we are misuse it. You know, so many bad news on the YouTube. Nothing is happening in America, anywhere in the world, but they make the news. This is worst things happening.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I say this is because there's a lot of live footage that you don't see on the news. You don't see it on the media. You don't see like the underreported crimes that are happening all over New York City, with people stealing, you know, armed robbery, people being assaulted in the streets, women being raped, people being shoved in front of subway cars and trains. I mean, I see all these things on YouTube because everybody has a camera on their phone, and sometimes you don't see all these things on the news. They might report one incident, but you don't see all of the incidents that are happening, which everybody deserves to know what's happening around them, and if whether or not they are safe or they should be protecting themselves. I mean, if they're going to decriminalize all of these cases, everybody should be able to at least protect themselves.
That's right. Everyone have a right to do so. Every human being. But our government give the so many rights is not worth it. The all right is not worth it for us. We are misuse it. That's why I respect X administration. Have to be strong, harder and hardliner. Otherwise, America, so many countries, people came over here. Whole of the world. The world, 220 countries is America right now. We are varieties culture, varieties religious, varieties knowledge. We are misusing our power. That's why I respect our government, whatever they do, last administration. Everything have to be harder, not softer. Have to be harder. Anyway, Todd, tell me that you are working on the community by community globally in mental health issue. So what is your idea in our American Big Pharma?
Well, Big Pharma has done a lot of big damage. Let's just start off by saying that. Big Pharma, big damage should be the new motto, maybe a new hashtag. Big Pharma, big damage. Anyway, when you realize the damage that these pills that they're always pushing on people, even for the side effects that these pills are giving you, they have pills for that too as well. So, pills upon pills upon pills, pills barred, if you get that one. Anyway, point of the story is, what do we, the consumer, do to help ourselves besides breathe and drink clean drinking water, hopefully? Hopefully you're privy to that.
Honestly, the best thing that you could do is to not get mental health care services if it's covered by Medicaid, because it's a very rigged system, and they have a whole bunch of unqualified people who are misdiagnosing people with mental health issues. They're not, they don't have the credentials to be handling people with severe trauma issues. In fact, they keep people stuck in their trauma, and they're capitalizing on people's trauma by over-medicating them and keeping them stuck and keeping them out of work, which there should be more resources and more therapists that are going to help these people get back to work, work through their trauma, provide, maybe some special programs that they could have on their phone that could help them stay on track, help them have a night routine and a morning routine, because that's where it all begins. So that these people can get control of their life again. A lot of people feel like their life is out of control because all of these crazy mandates. We can't go into
Sarah, we're going to come about those things. Tell us, you are victimized New York State health system. How is it happen? Why is it happen?
Well, to make the long story,
explain our viewers. You are the victimized. People cannot be victim by the government, for the government.
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to wrap it up. So I had a very severe injury in my neck. Okay.
In workplace or public place?
It was in a workplace. I was working at a busy day spa, and I was doing massage, and I ruptured a disc in my neck from repetitive trauma. So basically, I didn't get breaks in between my clients, and I was doing like 5 or 6 a day because we were a little short-staffed. And I was a new therapist, so I was really passionate about my new career. I wanted to make some money and pay off my student loans. And pretty much once I became injured, I was told to apply for temporary disability because right away they said my right arm was compromised. So when my disc ruptured, it cut off the nerve supply to my right arm. So I couldn't massage people anymore. It was just way too painful. And when they had MRIs, they said, there's compression on your spinal cord and we're gonna need to do a fusion on you. And I was just like terrified of having surgery. And I had been very physically active up until that point. And so when I applied through temporary disability, about 2 months into that, they said, your injury was because they read, I had to keep submitting proof of temporary disability. So
how long ago is that?
This was in 2017.
Okay.
So I graduated from massage school 2015, and I was working for about 2 years until this happened to me. You know, part of the problem is that there's no labor standards for massage therapists. So when I tried to say, hey, look, you know, I didn't get a break and this is how this happened, because they were trying to say that it wasn't work related. You know, of course, my boss did not want to go through workers' comp. And so that's why I was on temporary disability through her insurance. And her insurance kicked me off because my doctors was saying, and this, you know, I was using my my Fidelis insurance because I didn't really, I wasn't told, I've never been through this workers' comp process before. So I was hoping that it was just a pinched nerve, that I would go back to work. I didn't want to be out of work, you know, and they kicked me off because they said this was a work-related injury. So you need to file a case with workers' comp, and I did. And then at the first hearing, I found a lawyer through Google, and he gave my case to somebody who handled workers' comp, and at least I thought he did. And at the first hearing, they said they didn't know who the proper carrier was, and so, which made me believe that maybe they had a lapse in coverage, and that was supposed to be investigated, and it wasn't. And they just postponed my pre-hearing conference, which was supposed to be like really important for my case, because they were supposed to talk about my injury and everything. And I was just blindsided, you know, like I was told to listen, you know, to just be quiet.
Sorry to interfere you. When it happened, you call the police or you call the ambulance?
Oh, when my disc ruptured?
Yes.
No, I was just in a lot of pain, and I went home and, you know, I put ice and heat on it. I didn't really realize that it was such a severe injury until I think a day or 2 days later. I had to wait to see the doctor because it was on the weekend.
Oh,
So
that's why you stayed thinking you are frauding these things, or they think something else?
They were accusing me of having a pre-existing injury, which wasn't true, because if I did have...
What do you mean pre-existing? Is they thinking it happened long time ago and you are not reported to department or anything?
Yeah, they were accusing me of, they were trying to say that this was from a car accident that I had like 15 years prior. So, but up until that point, I had waitressed for 15 years and I never took a day off of work, you know, like, so there was nothing wrong with my neck. Like, I was in a car accident 15 years ago, but I had x-rays and everything, and I never had a ruptured disc in my neck. Like, this was a new injury. Anyway, so I had already had PTSD and severe depression disorder and anxiety disorder, and I was already being treated for that because I was raised in a very traumatizing religion known as Jehovah's Witnesses. So, you know, the way I was raised in school kind of put me at a disadvantage of having having like an equal opportunity for education, because they did not want me socializing with my peers. I wasn't allowed to pledge allegiance to the flag. I wasn't allowed to participate in birthday celebrations or any holiday celebrations. So it made life like difficult for me because I got picked on and I didn't understand why I wasn't allowed to do these things because I was so young that it just felt like I was being punished. And so, you know, I was a very troubled teen. There's a lot, I mean, there's a lot to this story, but like pretty much like Jehovah's Witnesses, they're very isolated. And they don't want you having any part of the world. And although school is part of the world, I was in a public school system. So really, you know, if I really wasn't supposed to be part of the world, they should have had me in like a private school setting, because putting me in a public school situation for me to be learning was very distracting for me because of this belief system that I couldn't partake in anything. And you know, it alienated me from my peers, and they wanted us to believe that college was worldly, and that you know, that going to college, that there was no point in going to college because Armageddon was coming, and that you know, investing in that wasn't good, and that we should just invest our money in God and the Kingdom Hall. And so that's why I never went to college. And so life was very hard for me, and I took on a lot of physically demanding jobs, such as waitressing. And then I had the massage therapy, but you know, I always worked in customer service, and like I was a cashier right out of high school. And so being a massage therapist took, that was a big step for me, you know, to apply for these student loans and everything. And because I struggled financially my whole life, you know, because I didn't have a college education and I couldn't get one of those jobs that required like an associate's degree. You know, and I was always fighting for shifts as a waitress because, you know, it's just, I was sharing those jobs with other people.
Sarah, I'm going to stop you for a minute. We're going to go short break. Todd, we're going to go short break, and we're going to come back. We're going to hear what's happened, our friends, Sarah life, and Todd going to be explain how is the community going to be involved with mental health. Viewers, we are going to short break. Please stay with us.
Okay.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Viewers, we are back in today's America, Millennium News 24/7. These days, our federal government, state government, city government, everywhere they have a political victimized political issue, and so many people using their identity and power misuse. Why is going to be happen in America? This is the rule of law country. So-called left wing, right wing, all kind of people we live together. But we have to be lawfully, by law, by rule. Our working place, somebody get accident, they have to have a work insurance, and if they don't have a insurance, state gonna be liabilities for that, not federal government, state or city. But these things happening every single day our community. So many people opening new business, they don't know the rule regulation, state law, city law, federal law. They have to have all kind of insurance. Otherwise, they cannot over 3 people. They have to have a work income insurance and liabilities insurance, all kind of insurance. But they don't care. They just open the business and run the business and making money. But state allow these things happening, and people get victimized. Why people have to be victimized? Worker is victimized, not owner, not state governor or state attorney general. They have a big mouth. They don't do anything for the public. Worker. This is the things happening every single day. Our community have to be stopped. Today we have a guest, and Sarah Nichols Frank, and she is victimized this kind of way. So we're going to hear from her. But this time I'm going to call Mr. Todd Goldfinger to explain our state, New York State Health. They have a lot of issue. How are we going to solve these issues, man?
So, okay, thank you, Noor. I think, how do you stop corruption? I mean, you do shows about it, right? About corruption when there's money being put in all the wrong places, and people like my friend Sarah Nicole Frank, who's not getting the help that she needed when she needed it. Now, she's smart enough. She's got the wherewithal. She's got YouTube. She figured it out. She healed herself. She helped herself. So she's cool now, you know? But there was a time when things weren't so cool. I think that's the point, right? So we're survivors. We've made it through the mental health tunnel of darkness and despair. And we're here to say, hope is on the way. If we could do it, so can you.
My brother,
And
our all communities, every color, every race, black, white, brown, everyone is victimized these issues. So many people opening the business, they don't know the rule regulation. They're making cash money, you know, they're thinking is cash money. Money is coming, money is good, but you hire the worker. You have to have a full coverage, all kind of health insurance, liabilities insurance, work comp, and you know, etc., etc., etc. But we don't. What is going on, man? Our state government doing the job or what?
No, they're not doing their job.
Todd gonna answer this.
oh, I'm okay. You think I have an answer for this?
You don't have answer?
I have an answer.
Go
Sarah
ahead.
has an answer.
Go ahead.
So there's fraud within state agencies that goes on with the employees who work for these state agencies, such as the Workers' Compensation Board. Because my lawyer that I had representing me at my hearings, or should I say misrepresenting me, He was an employee of workers' comp. He was a workers' comp representative. My lawyer never, on the retainer agreement, there's a acknowledgement of representation. That was not, I did not sign that. I didn't say, oh, it's okay, I just have a workers' comp representative, not a licensed attorney, because he wasn't a licensed attorney. So therefore, he lacked the credentials to be able to present my case to this judge. And I had a serious spinal cord injury. My disc was, it was a severe disc extrusion, and I had severe cervical radiculopathy, which is the inflammation of my nerve root that cut off the nerve supply to my right arm. And there was surgical intervention that was needed. And because my doctor didn't file it under the workers' comp law, and most doctors won't, because this is the problem, doctors do not get paid by workers' comp because the insurance company pays workers' comp to deny those claims. So doctors already know this, because how many times are they not going to get paid filing things under workers' comp? What the insurance companies does at these hearings is they go after the doctors and the doctors' licenses. You know, if they are, say, fighting for the claimant, you know, or just saying, you know, yeah, this did happen at work. So, you know, and the insurance company will say, oh, well, you know, let's see all of your records, and they'll just do whatever they can to like make trouble for the doctor, so that, you know, so that they'll say, oh no, this wasn't work related. Anyway, my lawyer abandoned me, and he abandoned me at my second hearing. I left off before we went to break. You know, they postponed everything because they said they didn't know who the carrier was. And then there was a different person there. There was a different judge. They switched judges behind my back. This was supposed to be an expedited hearing in due respect to the severity of my injury, because it could have caused me paralysis or Guillain-Barré syndrome or permanent nerve damage.
It's totally life risks.
Yeah. So they didn't expedite my hearing, and I just started getting attacked by the insurance company saying, you know, she was in multiple car accidents, and like they were just like really, you know, they had a whole list of reasons.
They were retaliating against you. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. And
but as a true, you have a fire, you have any kind of car accident?
Oh, like 15 years ago, yeah, but nothing recent that caused this injury that I never had before. I never had had lost function of my right arm. You know, I was a waitress for 15 years. There was nothing wrong with my neck. I mean, I was functioning fine before, you know, before this incident happened at work, and I didn't realize how severe it was.
You fall down or anything in the workplace?
No, it was just repetitive trauma. You know, as a massage therapist, I'm always have my arms in front of me, and I gave a lot of deep tissue massages. And so from the repetitive strain of always having my front neck muscles were so tight that it like pulled, you know, it was pulling my head forward. And I already kind of had a reverse curve in my neck. From, I guess, untreated whiplash from a long time ago. I mean, I didn't have insurance in my 20s, and that was before
you don't have a health insurance?
No, it was really hard to get, actually.
What? Your parents, they don't have a health insurance?
I have health insurance now,
but I'm talking 20s. You know, when you are like after 25, you can have your own health insurance. You can file tax
like
your
that.
own. But before 25, American law, state law.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that growing up. I mean, they would say you had to be at least 28 or something, and they changed the laws like 10 or 15 years ago. But when I was growing up, I had to pay out of pocket to go see the doctor. If I wanted to see the gynecologist or something, I had to pay out of pocket. And some places would work with you on a sliding scale, but most places didn't. And there's a lot of people like me that have like, you know, we have things like untreated whiplash, you know. I mean, I was functioning and everything, but when you're in a car accident, they're not just supposed to take an x-ray. You know, they're supposed to take an MRI. They're supposed to do, you know, put you through physical therapy and all of that. And that was just like, you know, you had to be on like the Cadillac plan to get physical therapy. And even with mental health care, that didn't exist either. So I think I was just one of the people who like fell through the cracks of the healthcare system, because you know, when I was growing up, you had to be a full-time student to be eligible for Medicare or health insurance through the state, or you had to be a single mom, which I wasn't. But you know, I definitely didn't make enough to buy my own health insurance. I was working, you know, as a cashier, making like minimum wage at the A&P, and then waitress saying you make less than minimum wage and you make all your money on tips. So for a very long time, I didn't have health insurance, and I remember having walking pneumonia and everything, and so that's what kind of gave me my knowledge of you know, natural medicine and holistic things, because I had nothing else. I couldn't just go to the doctor for antibiotics if I needed it. And all of the jobs that I had didn't provide it, and they wouldn't make me full time, you know, because of that.
So explain what is going on, the judge changes and wrong attorneys, wrong representative, and they don't have a license. Who hired them? If they don't have a license registered, how they working the state? How they are listed by state?
Well, because he's a licensed workers' comp representative, but he's not a licensed attorney. And his
so without
father,
licensed attorney, how he represent?
Because it was legal malpractice. It was he should not have been representing me at my hearing, because he was not authorized by me.
So you sue the department, or you sue the person?
I filed grievances against this guy for legal malpractice. I filed grievances to the grievance committee, to the bar association, and they actually covered up for them, because the firm that I had signed up with had his last name in the firm's name, because it was like a group, you know, and his last name was in the group, and it was because his father was in the group, but he passed away like several years before my case, and they actually filed my case under this deceased person. And so it was very misleading when I had this guy, you know.
Exactly one thing I'm going to tell you. New York State, if you have a corporation is my name or your name. If you died, does not matter. Corporation is not a die. Corporation is life. This is the New York State law. Did you understood that?
Corporation, well, the Bar Association is supposed to debar attorneys that are unethical and, you know, their conduct. They're supposed to like investigate conduct issues. So issues with misconduct, which this was a clear case of misconduct and also legal malpractice and fraud. And they told me, when I filed a complaint, I said, you know, this guy abandoned me. He didn't know anything about my case. He lied to me, and he lied in the withdrawal, because when they abandoned me, the guy who set me up with him, I'm trying really hard not to say any names because I don't want to get myself in trouble, but the firm...
Listen, you're not going to get any trouble in our network and in America from today. If you do everything by lawfully and you are the victimized and they're going to misguided you, misuse you, no way. It's not going to be happening in America. Okay?
They gave me PTSD because they actually banned me permanently from contacting the workers' comp board, and it's because the bar association would not investigate they're called the grievance committee, that like if you've been misrepresented or there's misconduct or errors in law and you didn't have a fair hearing, you're supposed to file a grievance, and that is supposed to help you with your appeal. Because let's just say, you know, you were abandoned and you're representing yourself in this appeal, you know, they're supposed to look at this and say, oh, okay, well, she was misrepresented. That's why she doesn't have a lawyer helping her with this. And instead of considering that, they just said, oh, well, we can't do anything about your complaint because the person you speak of is deceased. And he was very much not deceased. He was a workers' comp employee who was a workers' comp representative whose father was deceased. He was using his deceased father's license to file my case to retract any responsibility for misrepresenting me and sabotaging my claim. And I pretty much was a whistleblower because he was working with the insurance company. The workers' comp board was making a deal with them, I guess, to cover up the fact that they had a lapse in coverage. I don't know why they would do this, but like,
yeah, I have a question. If I could jump in here. Who does the grievance committee consist of? I think the viewers should know this because I don't know.
It consists of I
State,
don't know.
State Varieties Department. Okay?
It's a branch of the Bar Association. I know
Okay.
that. And
From,
the
listen, is from health department, state health, state attorney general, state bar association, state
Department of Justice.
exactly
So
state
it's like state, super state.
exactly
State. Like
state,
Aeroflot.
state
Yeah.
varieties department.
Well, they told me that I should contact the head of the licensing division because my first complaint, they said, oh, he's deceased. I gave them proof that he
You know,
wasn't.
they give you those people and someone advise you, they give you wrong information. You should show the state work composition and you should show the lawyer and the firm corporation, you know, these two do only simple, these two department, and you don't have to go bar association, so many places, you know, then you they give you wrong information, reason they don't have to pay you.
They did. They gave me wrong information, and the litigation process was so lengthy. I even had my mom, who witnessed the whole thing, write to the head of the licensing division of the workers' comp board, because she was the one who was supposed to be in charge of this man who totally, you know, who, one, committed legal malpractice, and two, you know, he was unethical in the way he abandoned me and didn't show any of my medical evidence to the judge. And so she was supposed to investigate this matter, and this had to do with my appeal. So she, you know, I had requested a full board review, and they denied my full board review, and shortly after that, they banned me permanently, and they said that it was my behavior. They said that I contacted them too many times because, you know, this whole time in litigation, because I filed 3 appeals, I was really trying to fight for myself.
When is end your case? When? How long ago?
It was closed, I believe, in March of 2019. That's when I had my surgery, because they were trying, in the withdrawal request, they accused me of lying about needing surgery. And they said that I had no medical evidence. And I had tons of it. I had tons of physical therapy reports, doctor's notes. I had medical evidence up the wazoo, but because it wasn't presented to the judge at the hearings, they didn't take it as evidence. And so they disregarded everything I sent them in my appeal. And then they tried to say that I was harassing them because I wouldn't stop calling, but they were hanging up on me. They kept pointing me in dead ends, telling me to call this person, that person. I called the grievance committee. They banned me too. I called the disability rights because during this whole process, my mental health got progressively worse. And I was going to a psychiatrist who kept prescribing me more and more and more medication. They gave me they quadrupled my Prozac. They had me on Adderall, clozapam, sleeping pills. I mean, I never had been on so much medication in my life. And on top of it, I was about to have surgery, invasive surgery, and I was on muscle relaxers, gabapentin, so I had medical issues that they were not recognizing, even though I was telling them. And they kept saying, go to your primary care. And my primary care would say, go to your psychiatrist. And it was just like they were giving me the runaround. And I had a nervous breakdown. And I actually, the grievance committee actually called 911 on me because I said, you're making my depression worse. I'm struggling to survive, and I was out of work for almost 3 years, and I was in pain, and they were,
Do you have your all documents?
I have all my documents. I saved everything.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about it, those things later on. Mr. Todd, you going to say something regarding...
about Sarah's case is that it actually drove her to the point of not wanting to be on the planet anymore, is what I think Sarah is saying.
It made me suicidal, and I actually had a couple of trips to the hospital where they gave me a psychiatric evaluation. But it's not even like I actually it's not like I actually did anything to harm myself, because it was kind of like false alarm, but it was like a cry for help. I was so desperate and in so much physical and mental pain, and I felt so alone, and none of these people were helping me, and they were trying to blame me, saying that it was my behavior which caused this. It was my behavior which caused me to be blacklisted and banned from the workers' comp board, even though I was showing them that I wasn't
you are abusing them, or you fighting with them?
They said that I was being abusive to them, but I never was abusive to them. I actually got my they were retaliating against me, and they were using my disability, my post-traumatic stress disorder and mental anguish. They were using that as a weapon against me to deny me services from the state, saying that I was just crazy, pretty much. And I wasn't crazy. They were trying to cover up the fact that I was a whistleblower, and that I was just trying to, get some justice for them mistreating me and mishandling my case. And, and it caused me a lot of extra pain and suffering that I didn't deserve. And if they had given me a fair hearing to clear some of this up, which I had requested several times, and I had every right for a fair hearing with every one of my appeals. They kept denying.
What you have to do now? You have to hire the attorneys. We have it, and you have to write our state attorney general office. Also, same time, you're going to write down Department of Health, Washington, D.C. Also, Department of... listen to me. The Department of Attorney General Office in Washington. You have to write so many places. Your attorney have to write behalf of you. Otherwise, it's not going to be solved. We like to see your case is solved. And you working same company right now or some other company?
So I guess I did write to the Attorney General. and he actually said that if I wanted to sue the Workers' Comp Board, that he would be representing them.
Very good.
So this is, he would be representing the Workers' Comp Board, meaning he would
It's
be
okay. It's okay. It's okay. They own by you. You write for Attorney General office in the state or federal?
Yeah. See.
No. My question is, you write the letter or you call the Attorney General office in Washington or New York State?
It was New York State.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You're gonna write Washington D.C. Head of the Attorney General office. These guys, the lady right now in the Attorney General office, she is another crook. Okay, we know her. She was a public advocate, city of New York. You know that. So she is now she thinking she have a big power. She gonna run for. She was legal community service. Then became public advocate, New York City. Then became Attorney General. Now she thinking she gonna run for governor. You know, she is against of Andrew Cuomo, our governors, and also she is doing some kind of crucial case, our ex-president Donald Trump and his industry. We know that. So she is another crook. Don't worry about it. We're going to come to you next other time. Our time is almost end. Todd, you like to say something?
We're going to Washington.
Well, let's do it. I have all the paperwork necessary. I even wrote to the CRP, the Civil Rights Center of the Department of Labor, and in Washington D.C., and they were supposed to investigate this whole matter because
Sarah, one thing, you going wrong way. You know, you have to go straight, not a curve. Don't make a curve. If you're going to make curve, they're going to misuse you. They're going to abuse you. They're going to abuse your rights. So why are you going to do that? You have to go straight.
I need a lawyer. That's the problem. I mean,
you need a hero.
You know, we are part. Listen, you are our good friend of our network. We are part of you. We are part of your family. So keep in touch with us and say that your voice, our viewers, they can victimize. People cannot be victimized like that. If someone get accident involved on the job, accident involved on the service, you know, if they have their own business, if they are accident involved, they can go to the working comp, you know, they can go state or federal or city, but they are misrepresent, misuse everything. They cannot be, have to be crystal clear and straight. Okay, viewers, today's our time is end. We have a Todd, you gonna say last word, and she gonna say last word.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So basically, the state of New York, it shouldn't be a big runaround. It shouldn't be a constant runaround and rat race. I think people are tired of the rat race, hence the Great Resignation. But I digress. That'll be next time. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad to be on the show, Millennium TV. Sarah, smile. It's great to be here. Check out my website. It's going to be great. Woo! Thank you. Peace.
Sarah, last word.
Last word is just, you know, don't let workers take advantage. Don't let your employers take advantage of you. You got to have some boundaries because, you know, when push comes to shove, you never want to have to put yourself in a situation where you're going to have to deal with workers' comp. It's a completely broken system. You know, it's very corrupt, and they don't want to help you. You know, and mental health. You know, I strongly urge who's ever struggling with mental health to try and see if you can get a massage from somebody you trust, you know, that's licensed, because there's many people who aren't licensed, and they decriminalize that as well, which is unfortunate because I spent a lot of money and I'm in debt for going to school for this, and you know, massage therapy is very healing for the mind, body, and spirit. And, you know, I just think that everybody needs a massage.
Very good. Thank you very much, both of you. Viewers, today's America and Millennium News 24/7. Our time is end for today. Please watch Millennium News 24/7. We are in all iOS and Android device and all smart TVs like a Samsung, Sony, and LG, Roku TV, Apple TV. So many kind of smart TVs these days in this world. Also, we are in Amazon Stick and Roku Stick. Viewers, we are in all social network Millennium News 24/7 like Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Also, our YouTube channel, news channel M24. Viewers, our colleague, friends, they are working for round the clock for you. News, views, talk show, documentary, so many things. Please watch Millennium News 24/7. Whatever you are, please stay peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye and take care for today.